Hi, I'm Dani Gasparini, and welcome to this segment of PenVoice. I am so very excited to joining me today, Susan Manheimer, who is the Chief of Police for San Mateo. Susan, thank you.
Thank you.
It's so exciting to have you here. We always have great conversations about the community and what you do. But before we jump into all of the different programs that San Mateo has, tell us how you made your way to San Mateo and San Mateo County.
Well, it's lovely because I didn't know San Mateo County much. I grew up on the East Coast, ended up with the San Francisco PD for many wonderful years. I worked in the Tenderloin a lot. I ended up as a captain there, and I was recruited to the city of San Mateo. And as I looked around the city, recognized their wonderful downtown, their wonderful police department, I got recruited and I couldn't say no. And now I've been there almost 15 years, and it's the right size city to get so much done in. It's really exciting to be there.
Well, two things. One, a very different form of policing from San Francisco and the Tenderloin to the city of San Mateo. And two, a female police chief.
Yes.
That's something that you're setting sort of this role model for women coming through the public safety arena.
Well, it's funny, as I was coming up, Dani, in this profession, I really wanted to prove I was operational. I could do what the guys did. I was really the first of the group of sergeants, lieutenants, and captains for the SFPD. And I kind of tried to downplay the woman thing. But as I got up into rank and I realized so many other women and so many were really changing their idea of females in policing and how well they could do, that I do talk about it more now, and I do really try and be that role model. I really try and bootstrap up not just women, but men who are really supportive of the diversity we bring to policing.
Right. And you know, I would imagine that if you looked nationwide, we live in a pretty progressive area, which we're very fortunate about. You're in a very progressive area in San Francisco. So, you know, how does it compare to sort of women joining public safety in the Midwest? Are they making as great a strides at women in leadership roles?
I mean, I have to say that when you get, usually they're about 14% female pretty much throughout the country in the lower ranks. As you get into those higher ranks, 1%, 2%. Other areas of the country, as you can imagine, are probably further behind the curve. In California, I am proud to say, I was the 4th female police chief, and we now have 27.
Wonderful.
And I was elected as the president of the California Police Chiefs, and I told them until we have half women chiefs that we wouldn't achieve parity. But I've received nothing but support along the way, and I think we've really opened the ranks for women and diversity of our community in general.
Well, and that's, I think, one of the greatest reasons that San Mateo actually sought you out and recruited you, because of your vision and how your expertise in keeping an area like the Tenderloin safe and their community safe, bringing all of that to San Mateo, it was something that was so valuable. So you've got a lot going on in San Mateo as far as community policing and programs. So tell us a little bit about the Night Out program.
Well, yes, and this is what I'm really excited about. We have one of the most vibrant neighborhood watch programs probably in the Bay Area. We have 432 blocks that all joined together and said, we are going to partner with our city to ensure safety and quality of life. So August 4th this year, and in the first Tuesday in August every year, at least the 15 years I've been there, our community turns on their lights, gets together either in blocks or in their areas, and awaits McGruff the crime dog and the police chief, the mayor, and we roll out really the whole city, the fire engines, the Vector trucks, because it is really our way of saying, partnering with our community and saying we are together going to take that literal bite out of crime, as McGruff is our symbol of. But it really is about partnering together to make sure we have eyes on the street, that we know our neighbors, we bring back that small town feeling, because that's what brings quality of life and safety to a community. Is we can't be everywhere. And our residents are, and so we charge them to be the eyes and ears and help us set our priorities of what's important to them. When I came into police work, I wanted to chase bank robbers. Frankly, we've done a good job of having less bank robberies, and it really is about what's important to our community. And in San Mateo, we have a lot of engaged partnerships.
And I think part of it too, and I remember interviewing one of your sergeants last year about National Night Out. It's a way for neighbors, if nothing else, to get to know each other. I mean, we've come so far in understanding what community policing is and how to do neighborhood watch programs, but sometimes we don't really know our next door neighbor. And this is a great opportunity for everyone to say, bring your lawn chairs out front. And, as you said, turn your lights on, get to know one another, and talk about what your community issues are, what your block issues are, or anything that might come forward.
And we're really excited to do Neighborhood Watch 2.0 now because a lot of our community is online and we want to be where they are. And so we've got a lot of new things. So I ask that all of our neighbors, our neighborhoods, our community leaders will all be out there on August 4th. If they want more information, they can go to our website, look up Neighborhood Watch or National Night Out, and get in the spirit and partner with us. I can promise you a visit from McGruff or even a big Public Works Vector truck. Our whole city is
out
in
and
on,
about.
Yes, and they are in on community engagement and really making sure that we are partner with that community.
Right. I am Facebook friends with a lot of people in San Mateo, and I will tell you, Facebook was awfully active that night as people were posting pictures about being out in front of their homes and doing some different things. So it was really a lot of fun to watch it sort of happen live, if you will. So along with National Night Out, there's some other things happening with community policing. So tell us about that.
Well, I think first and foremost, what we have really tried to do in San Mateo, we have 5 high schools, we have a lot of middle schools, and we have seen at early ages that our kids are susceptible to so many peer pressures and, quite frankly, negative influences, including cyberbullying, gangs, and really, I think most suspects started out in some way with a cry for help or being a victim. So we have gone very intensively into our juvenile services, our police activities league, and we are looking to really get on the front end of preventing gangs, preventing victimization. We're really focused on the family as a whole, and we've got a lot of other things, but what we're finding is with the downturn and the recession, we have had to cut back on all those extra services, I call them, the ones where we're doing prevention rather than just reaction, the ones where we're forced really to be reactive as patrol and report takers rather than really get out there and do the intervention and the prevention that we want to do that we know is so effective.
So budgets are getting a little bit better, the economy's better, so what are the things that then you're reinstating?
Yes, well, we were very lucky in the city of San Mateo to have Measure L about 7 years ago. They, our citizens voted for a sales increase and sales tax increase, and what that did was enable us to keep a couple of those really important programs. The preventive police patrols, really having more visible police in your area. All of those extra services I talked about, being victim-centered in our response to domestic violence. And what we really have been worried about, Dani, is with the expiration of that measure, that we were going to have to cut back on those services again. The strides we've made in public safety, 911 emergency services, even during the downturn, our community voted for that locally controlled funding. So we were pretty relieved when our city council this Monday night, July 20th, voted to place another revenue measure to extend Measure L out so that we could continue and even build on the services that we know are going to have tremendous impact for our community. Locally controlled, the state can't take that away from us. As you know, states have done a lot to balance their budget, but oftentimes it's been from the local coffers. But this is money that our community can invest in the important services to them.
We just have about a minute left. What's different today about public safety than when you first started your career?
I think we have come so far. In my career, we'd respond to domestic violence and say we're going to take her walk around the block. Early on, in my career, we weren't so centered on youth and prevention and family. But really, it's gangs, it's quality of life, it's all of those issues that I think we need and our community wants to invest in. And so this measure that hopefully this community will again step up and control, will bring us back to those levels of service, the infrastructure, the other things that we just haven't had the local funds for.
Well, it sounds like your community is very in tune with what you are trying to achieve in public safety and is truly your partner. So we'll look forward to seeing more on Measure L and all the things that you're accomplishing in San Mateo. Thanks for bringing that forward to all of us, something other communities could model after. I want to thank all of you for being on PenVoice and watching, and we'll see you next time.